Okay. So let's start with GMP and its basics. With the concept of GMP, back to basics. What is GMP? So we cannot rely on testing alone to ensure product quality. Quality must be built into the product. And that's the reason GMP is a part of quality assurance, which ensures that products are consistently produced and controlled in such a way to meet the quality standards appropriate to their intended use as required by the marketing authorization. Means here we are considering many companies are claiming that they are testing their products, and without testing they are not selling this product in market, and we are ensuring at the time of testing that product is of quality. But that's not true, because many times the products testing may go wrong, and this may result into the failure of the product or the market complaints. So in such cases, what needs to be done, that this GMP process and GLP processes must be incorporated during the production itself. So it cannot be just the testing the product, but it's about producing and controlling the quality of the product during production. And this will be now, this is now requirement of by regulatory authorities. So why is CGMP current in GMP? So you can say this is why current in GMP. We are saying always CGMP. C is current, means latest GMP systems. And you can take this with another way also, that electric current, like that also, that C is current in GMP. So if no C in GMP, your medicine may not be acceptable. So what is CGMP? So adopt newer technologies, ensure compliance by monitoring the systems, seek opportunities for continual improvement, and always be ready for all kind of circumstances and all kind of incidences, or all kind of audits, or all kind of sudden events, or sudden failures in the practices or during the production. So why it is required, why GMP is required, how and why different from other products, medicines. Now we will talk about medicines. So medicines are totally different. First concept we have to keep in your mind while implementing GMP, that medicines are for human beings, and these are being taken by human beings, and so on. It has to be of quality, and it's not of by not like other products. So in other products, you can complain to the company, and it can be, complaints can be resolved by the company, and you may get replacement of the product. But once medicine has been intaken by you, then there is no chance of revert back. So this is difference between medicine and other products. So it has to be very carefully manufactured, and it shall not be for profit making, but it shall be for human being and for implementing the systems for human life, not for the compliances only, or not for the businesses only. So what other products like vehicles, clothes, and TV, it needs on daily basis and medicine basis, and medicines will be only required when a person is not well. So there is options to check and select the appropriate in other products, but common man does not have the choice to select. Means if you are manufacturing some product, common man cannot understand what is difference of Cipla's product and West Coast product, or any other company's product and West Coast product. So what needs to be done? It has to have quality by default, that common man shall take this blindly without having any doubts in his or her mind. If dislikes, can exchange with other options. अगर हम लोगों का कोई भी अदर प्रोडक्ट है, व्हीकल्स है, क्लोथ्स है, टीवी एटसेट्रा है, तो दैट कैन बी replaced or exchanged with other products or other options. But once you are taking medicine, no option of any like or dislike. Error can be rectified. आपने टीवी ले लिया या आपने कोई अदर व्हीकल ले लिया या क्लोथ्स है, so आप errors rectify कर सकते हो. But here in medicines, what will happen? Error will result in death of the person. So when we are manufacturing products or medicine in our factory, we have to keep in our mind that these are the products which are being consumed by human being, and so there is no chance for error. These errors may result into death, and there is no other option. So we have to consider and we have to keep always in mind that this is going to fatal to any human being if we are keeping in any error. So if you are looking towards, so to Parmar sir is senior there, or you people have must face some audits in past. आप लोग देखते हो companies are claiming like नहीं हम लोग तो 80% GMP फॉलो करते हैं, हम लोग 90% GMP फॉलो करते हैं, कुछ जगह पे नहीं पॉसिबल होता है. But in medicines you cannot compare or you cannot say that we are following 90% GMP, we are following 100% GMP, or we are following 70% GMP. If you are following 90% GMP, you are taking chance of 10% of death of the public or people or any harm to the human life. So GMP must be calculated as 100%, and it cannot be said that it is 90% or 70% or 80%. Now, why CGMP? CGMP is designed to minimize the risk involved in any pharmaceutical production that cannot be eliminated through testing the final product. CGMP regulations represent the non-negotiable minimum standards. This is important. Non-negotiable minimum standards. आपको जो मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड्स हम लोग फॉलो करते हैं सीजीएमपी में या प्रैक्टिस में, दैट हैज टू बी फॉलोड. यू कैन नॉट से कि नहीं मेरा सैनिटाइजेशन आज चलो आज मैं पानी से कर देता हूँ, डेटॉल हम लोग यूज नहीं करेंगे. सो दैट आर मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड्स, यू हैव टू फॉलो द सेम. सो मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड्स हम लोगों को फॉलो करने हैं, सो दैट एंड दैट इज रीजन दिस सीजीएमपी गाइडलाइंस हैज बीन डिक्लेयर्ड, दैट दिस इज एक्सप्लेनिंग मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड्स. अब उसके आगे जाना है, उसके आगे कितनी ज्यादा केयर आपको लेनी है, that is up to factory to factory. It is varying, regulations to regulations it is varying. If you are looking towards various regulations of the world, you take PEAKS guideline, you take MHRA guideline, you take NVISA guideline, TGA guideline, or any other country, US guideline, European guideline, any other country's guideline. You can see there are common part written in guidelines about CGMP. Then what is difference? Difference is auditor's perspective and auditor's intervention or auditor's interpretation of the guidelines. Means what auditor understand about guideline, that is important, and accordingly he is auditing the facility. And that's the reason we are saying that we are going for stringent regulatory, we are going for less stringent regulatory, we are going for non-regulated market, we are going for regulated market. So what is different? Difference is not in guidelines. Schedule M is saying same thing, WHO is saying same thing, PEAKS is saying same thing, and European guidelines are saying same things. Only interpretation of guideline we are doing at our end, and accordingly we are mentioning in our document. So yesterday also I have commented on one document that there is statement written that to face the stringent regulatory audits, there is nothing like stringent regulatory audits. We have to follow every norm stringently as per our SOPs, and we have to comply the same so that our GMP standards can be complied and product will be with highest quality. So GMP covers all aspects of production from starting material, premises, equipments, personal hygiene of staff, training, validation, testing, documentation, and many more. So a consumer usually cannot detect through smell, touch, or sight that a drug product is safe or it will work or not. So while CGMP requires testing, testing alone is not adequate to ensure the quality. So many companies, I am hearing when I am doing audits, many companies are saying, no, forget about, add the material. We are testing it. And after testing only, after releasing finished product only, we are selling the product in market. So that's wrong method. Usually testing is done on a small sample of batch. So अगर हम लोग 20 लाख टैबलेट बनाते हैं, 2 लाख टैबलेट बनाते हैं, तो उसमें से कितने 100 टैबलेट्स हम लोग टेस्ट कर रहे हैं. वी आर नॉट टेस्टिंग एंटायर बैच. So if so that most of the batch can be used for patients rather than destroyed by testing. So 100 tablets we are testing, we are not testing entire batch. So what is important? Quality is to be built into the design and manufacturing process at every step. So for why CGMP is there? To build the quality into design and manufacturing process at every stage. Every stage is important for as far as quality is considered.
Yes, sir.
So buildings and facilities that are in good condition, equipment that is properly maintained and calibrated, equipments which are qualified and fully, employees who are qualified and fully trained, and processes that are reliable and reproducible. So these are requirements of GMP for drug product manufacturing. So GMP impact on me. So as a employee of the company, what we have to think, I'm working with open product and materials. So my safety is important first. First, I am working and handling products which are chemical materials, chemical entities, and which are having pharmacological actions. So these products may make harm to me. So I have to think about my safety. I'm consuming pharmaceutical products. So as a patient, I am consuming pharmaceutical products and my friends and family too. So मैं हमेशा एक चीज पूछता हूँ, हर एक जहाँ पर GMP का generally workers are there, and when they are saying that they are not following GMP, so I am asking them, whatever products you are manufacturing, can you give this product to your any elder person in your family or to a child in your family? If you are confident that this product can be administered by your family members, and then only you can be confident about selling this product in market, because if we cannot give this product, whatever manufactured in our factory, to any other person, to our family members, then we are not having right to give this to any other person of the world, because they are also human beings. So thinking about our salaries, about our job responsibilities, and about completion of our duty is not GMP. GMP is beyond that. You have to every time think, while working in pharmaceutical industry, you have to every time think about the product is being consumed by a patient. And who is patient? Patient is the person who is already in trouble. And if we are not manufacturing good quality product, that means we are making and increasing the patient's trouble. So what is my impact on GMP? Do I know what I am doing? Means procedures are important. Do I follow areas, SOPs exactly? And do I document everything as per GDPs? So GMP is not a rocket science. So what it is, मैं क्या काम कर रहा हूँ, कहाँ पर काम कर रहा हूँ, इसका अवेयरनेस मुझे चाहिए. Whatever procedures have been approved by company or quality assurance department, I have to, and I must follow that procedures exactly which are written, and I have to document whatever I am doing. So these three things we have to see, and then you can understand your impact on GMP. If you are not doing these things, it means you are playing with, again, the quality of product. How do I ensure that product is protected from contamination? And how do I avoid mix-ups? So contamination and cross-contamination, both things we have to keep in our mind. Customers' expectations for quality. Patients and doctors assume that their drugs are safe, are efficacious, have the correct identity, deliver the same performance, perform consistently over their shelf life, are made in a manner that ensures quality will be available when needed. So these are general expectations of the customer or patients. So regulators' expectation for quality. Safety, the product is free from unwanted side effects. Identity, product should be exactly matched the labeling and related documents. Product should be of correct concentrations and potency. The product is free from undesirable or adulterating chemicals, biologicals, or any other physical entity. Efficacy, product should give desired effect and therapeutic activity. Means safety, identity, strength, purity, and efficacy. SISPE. So these are the expectations of regulators from a pharmaceutical company. Redefining the C in CGMP, the philosophy behind practice. So C, creating, implementing, and sustaining a culture of compliance. So what is quality? Quality is culture of compliance, where every individual in the organization involved in activities having direct or indirect impact on the quality of the product, understands his responsibility for product, understand his responsibility for protecting the quality and safety of the product. So creating, implementing, and sustaining a culture of compliance means quality. So we have to define C in CGMP. Many times people are saying, what is CGMP and what is the difference between CGMP and GMP? GMP are the regulations, and C, you can say you are creating culture of compliance in your GMP systems. And once you are creating culture of compliance, that becomes quality. CGMP challenges. What happens if it will not be followed? So adulteration. Methods or processes used are not in conformance with current good manufacturing practices. It's called as adulterations. Means anyone can mix up anything in any drug which is similar looking or having somewhat similar characteristics, but not giving the same result which is being given by parent drug. So that is called as adulteration. Misbranding. Provisions can pertain to materials that are physically distant from the product or its container. Ads making improper claims run in journals or TVs or media. Labeling is false or misleading. This is called as misbranding. So CGMP challenges. Therefore, a drug meets its specifications, contain no detectable impurities, in safe and effective, and still can be considered as adulterated if the manufacturing was not in compliance with CGMP. अब ये नेसेसरी नहीं है कि आपने कुछ उसमें सिमिलर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक का दूसरा मटेरियल डाला है या ओमेप्राजोल में कोई और कैटेगरी का एंटासिड मिक्स हुआ है. That is not only the adulteration, but if you are not complying CGMP systems, then also FDA is now declaring this as a adulterated. So current, the US courts may theoretically hold that a drug product as adulterated, even if there is no specific regulatory requirements that was violated, as long as process was not performed according to the industry norms. So अभी ये नेसेसरी नहीं है, जैसे मैंने बोला कि कोई भी प्रोडक्ट में कुछ अडल्ट्रेशन होना जरूरी नहीं है, बट इफ यू आर नॉट परफॉर्मिंग अकॉर्डिंग टू इंडस्ट्रियल स्टैंडर्ड्स और CGMP norms, then also it will be considered as adulterated drugs. What if not comply, and what will be the consequences? So consequences of non-compliance of CGMP is you may receive 483 or non-compliances from regulatory authority, warning letters, import alerts, withheld product approvals, cancellation of government contracts, product recalls, seizures, consent decree, then fines, penalties, suspension or revocation of license, damages to the company reputation, loss of share values, closing or takeover companies, loss of sales, undesirable expenses or remediation, and impact on individuals, prosecution, department, loss of jobs and career loss. So whenever we are working in pharmaceutical industry, we have to think about all these things, that what we are doing with product, what compliances we are doing. If non-compliances are there, definitely it is going to hamper on company reputation, and company, once it is reputation has been damaged for the quality, no one in world will going to accept the same, and impact on individuals will be, it may be different impacts on the individuals. So this is in short the this is history of GMP, why GMP has been introduced. So first Food and Drug Act has been introduced in 1906 with sulfanilamide case. So sulfanilamide has been instead of sulfamethoxazole, sulfanilamide has been administered by some patients, and it is sulfanilamide is being used in aircrafts. So that has been administered, and around 37 patients have been dead. In 1937, 1960, and 1960, it has again Drug Act has been amended with sulfathiazole strategies, and in 1960 thalidomide case has been happened, that many pregnant women have administered this thalidomide, and because of that many children have been born with deformities in US. And then the government has been decided to implement CGMP norms, and they have implemented CFR norms for complying or inspecting the systems of the companies. Then 1980, Tylenol case has been happened, and the regulations have been made stringent by FDA, and it has been started from CFR, then ICH, and all these other countries also have stringent made their norms stringent. Before that, around 1995, in India also there was no Schedule M was in existence, and revised Schedule M has been introduced by government with as stringent norms. So 1983, Guide to the Inspection of Computerized System in Drug Processing. 1987, Guideline on General Principles of Process Validation. 1998, Draft Guidance for Industry Investigating OOS and Test Results. 1998, Draft Guidance for Industry Manufacture, Processing, or Holding Active Pharmaceutical Ingredients. Today, FDA issues per good guidance practice regulations 21 CFR 10.115. It has been published around in 2000. Then optional for use documents, not legally enforceable, but if there isn't a good reason for not following the guidance, you are expected to follow the guidance. If an alternate practice is not documented as a evident, equivalent or better, you are expected to follow the guidance. Means this is most important. We are always saying कि नहीं auditor को यही चाहिए, guideline में यही लिखा है. But always understand these are the guidelines, not the enforceable law. There is difference between law and guidelines. US government, ICH, or any other that has been FDA, that are FDA guidance. This is guidance document. You have to consider guidance document and establish your system. Now Schedule M. Schedule M is law that has been written in our law book, Indian law book, that is Drug and Cosmetic Acts 1940. So that is as per law, but guidance is not as per law. So if you are violating the norms of the Schedule M, you may be prosecuted by the government or FDA authorities. But if you are violating guidance of FDA documents like US FDA or ICH or any other countries, what they are saying, if you are having alternate practice established in your factory to avoid, it is similar to the guidance document, then there is no harm. You can go ahead, you have to just justify with documented evidences. So there is no nothing like कि ऐसा ही चाहिए. USFDA ने ऐसा बोला हुआ है, USFDA में ये होता है, USFDA में होता है, कुछ नहीं होता है USFDA. Because what USFDA is saying, you have to follow guidance document, but establish your own system. You have to justify to the auditors that this system is equivalent to the guidance document, and we are giving quality results with this system, and this is validated system. Once you are proving that one, no harm to follow alternate systems which are equivalent to the guidance document. So pharmaceutical CGMP for 21st century, a risk-based approach, working group created to analyze related CGMP requirements in effect in the US and internationally, particularly those related to quality systems. Ultimate goals are of updating CGMPs. So timely, they are encouraging timely detection and response to emerging defects or indications that product quality has been compromised. Further clarity and modernization of the regulations, harmonize various aspects of the Part 210 and 211 with other agencies and international regulations. I'm taking 210 and 220 or 211 as a guidance because it has been, CGMP has been started from there and then it has been reflected in 2004. The ICH concept has been started and ICH has harmonized everything. And then after PICS guidelines were in existence. The bar of expectations is raising, technology strategies and evaluation. Then the 5 elements of the CGMP: materials, personnels, processes, machine, and premises. So these are the power 5, you can say power 5 of GMP. So I'm saying this with other way, that man, material, processes means method, machine, and manufacturing premises. So 5 M's also you can say. The 5 elements: method, premises, man, machine, and material. So organization and personnels, which every guideline is speaking about this. Each person, including supervisors engaged in manufacturing processes, packing, holding, and holding of the product, shall have training, experience, and sufficient education. This is also most important. So we have to also think about which education we are following when we are taking interviews of the personnel. Basically, this is pharma industry, and when you are working in manufacturing, we have to select certain professionals who are pharmacists and who knows about the drug product and drug product manufacturing things. So sufficient education is most important. ये आप भूल जाइए कि हम लोग बोलते हैं कि नहीं मेरा 10th फेल ऑपरेटर है एंड ही इज वेरी एक्सपर्ट, आपका कोई भी PhD लाओ उससे भी वो अच्छा है, और वो जिस दिन गलती करेगा ना, उस दिन he cannot rectify this mistake by his own. And if that mistake goes wrong and it will be, if it is reflecting in product quality, then he will be reason for death of hundreds of people. But if qualified people are there, qualified personnel are there, then they might understand the importance and they might understand the responsibility of reporting errors. Illiterate person or low educated person may skip the responsibility with the fear that somebody will fire him or he will have to face actions. But the educated person, sufficient education per educated person, is always a responsible person and who knows if this is going wrong and if it is reflecting in product quality, it may harm to many people. So I have to report this error to my management. So sufficient education, training, and experience also, but obviously is required for appropriate combination of any two. So every time experience rahega kisi ko, it is not necessary. So it can be training or education, sufficient education and experience, sufficient education and training. So inadequate number to perform, supervise, assign tasks or functions. GMP personal trainings. The most successful companies are those that invest in their peoples. Training must be enforced by the supervisor. So it will be shop floor training or as we are explaining in our SOPs, whatever training patterns we are following, that we have to concentrate on the same. Personal training, CGMP training must be reinforced by on-the-job supervision, follows SOPs. On induction and continuing theory and practice of the CGMP by qualified trainers, training shall be pertained by qualified trainers, training record should be kept, training before undertaking any new task. Practical effectiveness should be periodically assessed with assessment test or number of rejects or product complaints or return products. Visitor and consultants must be given information in advance, particularly about personal hygiene and protective clothing requirements, must be accompanied and closely supervised at all time. Consultants and contracts staff should be qualified for the services they provide. Evidence of this should be there. So record has to be kept for visitors' instructions also and contractors or labor's training also. Personnel engaged in the manufacturing, processing, packing, or holding of a drug product shall wear clean clothing appropriate for the duties they perform. Protective apparel such as head, face, and hand and arm coverings should be worn as necessary to protect drug products from contamination. Persons shall practice good sanitization and health habits. Personnel responsibilities. Only personnel authorized by supervisory personnel shall enter those areas of the building and facilities designated as limited access. So all persons working in persons have restricted access, or authorized entries only shall be allowed in manufacturing area. Persons must undergo health examination, trained in practice of personal hygiene. Illness or open lesions not allowed, and if somebody is ill, that person has to report his illness to his supervisor, and the adverse conditions, if there are any, shall be affecting adversely on the product. Trained personnel equal to quality performance equal to continual improvement. Less prone to errors, less deviations from standards, reduced amount of rework, reduced amount of rejects. Machine. As per as CGMP regulations are considered, appropriate design, adequate size, suitably located in facility, operation, cleaning, and maintenance. So whatever machines we are selecting, that have to have certain parameters we have to consider while selecting the machine, placing the machines, operation of the machine, and cleaning of the machine. Suitably constructed such that contact surface are non-reactive, non-additive, or non-absorptive. Lubricants, coolant shall not come in contact to the product at any stage. Now we are always saying that SS316. So why we are saying SS316? That is non-reactive, non-additive, or non-absorptive. So that's the reason we are always saying that SS316. But it is not mandatory. No guideline is explaining that SS316 must be used. If any other material which is non-reactive, non-additive, and non-absorptive, that will be acceptable for machine construction. Machine as per GMP regulations. Clean, maintained, sanitized, sterilized, and this shall be preventive maintenance shall be done to prevent malfunctions and contaminations because of machine. Written approved procedures for operation, cleaning, and maintenance. Records should be maintained, kept in state of control through inspections and calibrations. Computerized system should have access controls, authorized persons, multiple signs, then data security. And this is reason we are saying doer and checker. So every activity shall be checked by someone. Data security, backup, and accuracy of data, disaster management plan. All these features should be validated and checked at set frequency. All these requirements to prevent alteration of the safety, identity, strength, quality, or purity of the drug products beyond the official or other established requirements. Automatic, mechanical, and electrical equipments, it shall be handled and controlled by authorized persons only. Machine maintenance activity should present no risk to the product. Emergency work in working area followed by thorough cleaning and disinfecting the manufacturing premises or area. Whenever possible, all plant maintenances outside normal operating hours or on holidays shall be conducted. So area clearance shall be given by QA. Machines which are not in use should be kept at suitable places and with suitable, with proper labeling and with proper care. Defective or damaged machines or equipments shall be removed immediately and labeled that these are under maintenance or these are not in use, and then only it shall be kept very safely so that machines cannot be used by any person. This may lead to accidents or this may lead to any defect in product. So building and facilities. separate areas and areas designated for specific operations. Like GMP, I am always correlating with our household terms or whatever we are behaving in our routine life. So what shall be GMP? GMP shall be in habits. No, it shall not be only practice. It shall be habitual to every person. So in bathroom, we are cleaning everything and keeping our bathrooms clean. In kitchen also, we are organizing everything, and then only we are starting cooking the whatever activities we are doing in kitchen. That also we are planning and organizing. Bedrooms we are keeping very good, and dining rooms also we are keeping very good. And similarly, why we shall not handle our plants and why we shall not keep our areas maintained. A plant shall be laid out and constructed in such a way that makes it easy to clean, maintain, and operate, provides adequate space, eliminates unnecessary personnel movements. So we have to check always whether our plant is complying to all these requirements or not. Adequate space and unnecessary traffic shall be avoided. It can cause mix-ups and errors. So areas designated for manufacturing are used exactly as intended by regulations. It is against CGMP regulations to use manufacturing area for any purpose not directly related to actual manufacturing. So we have to follow CGMP regulations always, because there shall not be any other activities rather than manufacturing, rather than intended use of the area. So the area is meant for manufacturing. We have to manufacture products only, and that shall not be used for any other purpose. So waste material must be removed from the building and disposed of in safe and sanitary manner. Building must be kept in good state of repair. Standard operating procedure for every area, building, machines, cleaning procedures, and everything shall be established in premises. So insecticiding procedures or pest control procedures shall be established. Premises and production systems shall be adequately designed. So CGMP manufacturing environment. So product protection, personal protection, and environmental protection. These three we have to take care. These three things we have to take care to avoid contaminations and protect from product from cross contamination, and correct temperature, humidity, and other factors we have to see. Production and process controls. All regulations requires written procedures for production and process controls. So designed to assure that the drug products have the identity, strength, quality, and purity they purport or represents to purchases. So responsibility to draft the procedure, change it, review it, and approve it. Responsibility of the quality control unit to review and approve. Always remember, no guideline is specifying quality control and quality assurance as a separate, it's quality unit operation. So we are bifurcating this as a quality assurance and quality control. So that's different case, but its quality unit has to review and approve the procedures, and the user department shall draft the procedures. So the written PPC procedure should be followed in the execution of the various production and process control functions documented at the time of performance. Any deviations from the written procedure shall be recorded and justified. Written PPC procedure shall include the following. The batch shall be formulated with the intent to provide not less than 100% of the label or established amount of active ingredient. Components shall be weighed, measured, or subdivided as appropriate. So we have to think while implementing GMP, we have to think about 100% results. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, 97% आईपी ने अप्रूव किया हुआ है या 92% अप्रूव किया है, हम लोग बोलते 95% इट्स ओके, 95% आ रहा है. But we have to target for not less than 100%, and then only we can say that our quality is 100% compliant with CGMP. Written PPC procedure shall include the following: weighing, measuring, or subdividing and dispensing of components. Manual operation requires adequate supervision by second person. Second person must examine and assure that release of the components of manufacturing by the quality control unit, or you can say quality assurance unit. The weight measure matches the batch production records, BPRs. Proper identification of the containers. Automated equipment operations requires only one person to verify these operations and assures. So wherever you are using automated processes, it has to be verified by some other person, like doer and checker system. But in case of automated instrument, one person is sufficient to verify this process. There is no need of check by, because already it is being done by automated machine and where somebody is checking. So that is okay, done and check, doing and checking. So component addition, manual operation requires one person to add and a second to verify. Automated equipment addition require one person to verify. Calculation of yield, required determination of actual yields and percent theoretical yields at the conclusion of each appropriate phase of manufacturing, processing, packing, and or holding of the drug product. See, input and output concept shall be performed at every stage. What was the input, that shall be considered as 100%, and accordingly every stage yield calculation shall be done in percentage, so that we come to know in which stage we were defaulter and in which stage we got less yield, so that while investigating for the less yield of the product or less assay of the product, that time it will be very useful if we are recording yield percentage at every stage of production. Regulations, equipment identifications. So identification of equipment, identification of materials, identification of containers, identification of stage, identification of area, and identification of persons. This must be done, because as per regulations, you have to identify each and every activity which you are doing in premises. It may be equipment or it may be person, material, or process. Sampling and testing of in-process materials and drug products to assure batch uniformity and integrity of the drug products. Then describes the in-process controls, test examinations to be conducted to monitor the output and validate the performance of those manufacturing processes responsible for causing variability in the characteristic of in-process materials and the drug products. So in-process analysis is important, and that has to be carried. After a certain number of batches, you can skip the same or you can change the processes. It is always asked by the manufacturer that we are having assay by HPLC and how we will conduct this in-process drug content uniformity or drug content for in-process test. So it is not necessary. You can establish your UE processes and you can go ahead for the same. Sampling and testing of in-process materials of drug products. So whatever test parameters you are deciding as far as dosage form are considered, if it is tablet or capsule, so accordingly you have to define the parameters. Sampling and testing of in-process material shall be consistent with the drug product final specification, shall be derived from the previous acceptable processes. Average and process variability estimates wherever possible, determined by the application of suitable statistical procedures, and examination and testing of samples shall be assured that the drug product and in-process materials conforms the specification. Sampling and testing of in-process materials and drug products. Testing of in-process materials for identity, strength, and quality and purity as appropriate. Requires the quality control unit to approve, reject in the process materials during the production processes at commencement or the completion of significant phases and after storage for long period. Means every stage has to be identified and it has to be checked and approved, or it may be rejected by appropriate authorities or appropriate checkers during the production. The limitations on production requires to establish time limits for the completion of the batch phase of production when appropriate to assure the quality of the drug product. So if there is deviation from established timeline, it is acceptable. It may be acceptable if such deviation does not compromise the quality of the drug product. So such deviation shall be justified and documented. Means हम लोग बोलते हैं कि time ये बैच के लिए 12 घंटा लगा, दूसरे बैच के लिए 18 hours. But this is not acceptable. This has to be, you have to set certain time frame for every stage, and accordingly you have to set time frame for completion of the batch. And deviations may be taken for the same, but it shall not be impacting on the quality of the product. Laboratory controls. In-process materials and drug products requires determination of conformance to written specifications and sampling and testing procedures. Samples shall be representative and properly identified. Control of microbiological contamination. It has to be done for non-sterile or sterile products. Wherever it is requirement as per specifications, we have to always check the same for microbiology. Annual product review is most important to understand what happens with our product, what will be trend of the product, if any changes have been performed during any batches, specifications or test methods, deviations or non-conformations, out of specification results, batch quality related returns, customer complaints or recalls, the stability monitoring program, and written sample or control sample examinations. Production record review. So every batch and every product's record shall be reviewed, and I am always suggesting these reviews have to be online. Means if you are completing dry mixing stage and you are completing wet mixing stage and going for drying, before that this checker has to review batch document online, so that after completion of the batch you may not find any critical things which are missing. So every stage has to be reviewed, and if you are doing online review, then it is most effective method to make your documentation online and with correct methodology, and this will have minimum non-compliances. Laboratory will have specifications, standard sampling plans, test procedures, shall have calibrations and maintenance program, written with time period of performance, document all testings and use logbooks. Laboratory supervisor, if something goes wrong, has to identify and shall not allow to continue the testing. Check results prior to discarding the samples. Stability testing shall be done periodically. Reserve samples or control samples shall be kept for finished product as well as intermediate product till the 1 year of the expiry. Quality assurance ensures the appropriate quality standards are set, maintained and kept up to date. Supervisors, it supervises the implementation of all necessary measures through the line of manufacturing or manufacturing functions, plays a leading role in promoting quality awareness through the company. Material management or material control system or inventory management system, you can say it shall be clean, sections clearly identified, quarantine, released or rejected, quarantine under test, it is always represented in yellow color, release green color, rejected red color. First in first out system or first expire first out system shall be followed. Track inventory and sold lots quantities, track inventory and sold lots. This bin card shall be maintained in warehouse. So this all things also about CGMP. So shall we continue with documentation? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Shall we continue with documentation? Good documentation practice.
Just a second. Sir, ये intermediate control sample भी निकालना पड़ता है?
Intermediate control sample is not required. क्योंकि आपका फेल होता है तो आप अगेन सैम्पलिंग करते हो ना.
Sir, is there any specific requirement to destruction of written sample? Means dedicated room is required?
For destruction of written sample, no, not required. You can destroy this in QC department also.
Okay.
Okay, sir, continue.
Okay. I will send you presentation, PDF presentation also.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. So we will start with good documentation practices, and this is most important. So we will cover up basic things, and whenever I will take a session on Alcoa, we will go in depth. So the document is a piece of collection of information or meaningful data, which could be in proper format, CD, computer files, or microfilms. Record should be self-explanatory in terms of what happened, when, where, why, and by whom. So 5 Ws we have to consider. Such documentation provides the necessary information when required during internal reviews as history of events to the regulatory agencies, customers as applicable. Documentation control is not optional, it's legal requirement. So to comply with GMP, facilities require documented systems based on specifications, manufacturing and packaging instructions, procedures, and records. If it is not documented, then it did not happen. हम लोग बहुत सारी बार बोलते हैं कि हम लोगों ने किया है लेकिन लिखा नहीं है. So it is very simple in GMP while working in quality assurance team. Always, if you are saying also that this batch has been completed, but it has not recorded in BMR, just declare that not happened and it is not did. So whatever you are doing, that has to be documented, and if documents are not there, auditor will just say this is not done by you and this is not happened in your factory. So why documentation? This is very important. Can we ship this batch? No, until the paperwork is released. Who says? Quality unit. Yes, even you can't move ahead without proper documentation. What is documentation? Only to document each activity you perform. Is it true? No. Documentation is a process which comprises of following: recording of data, review of documents, approval of documents, issuance and disposal of documents, retrievability of the documents, and presentation of the documents. So documentation hierarchy: mission statement, quality policy and quality manuals, policies document, that is BMP and SMF, procedures and work instructions, and records of proof. So this pyramid we have to always keep in mind, because mission statement is being decided by management, then quality policy will be developed by senior management, policies will be decided by plant management, and procedures and work instructions will be developed by shop floor team, and records or proofs, that is all records, logbooks, will be maintained by relevant department staff. Type of documentation refers to both printed forms as well as electronic systems, which are classified as manufacturing and tracking instructions, specifications, standard operating procedures, and records. Technical agreements, technical reports, quality system related documents, quality manuals, SOPs, validation protocols and reports, audit plans, plans and validation documents, URS, DQ, FAT, IQ, OQ, PQ, and other related documents, including product specification, test materials, so material report and receipts, personal related documents, including training records and qualification documents, utility related document, change controls, and other quality management and quality system documents. Generally, do's and don'ts for GDP. Don't use pencil, gel pens, ink pens, or auto-soluble inks. Use blue indelible inks and ball pens. Color doesn't matter many times, because many companies are following that QA are using green color also. So you can use blue, or for QA, you can identify it as a green color for some signatures or some highlighted things. But it shall be again ball pen. Don't enter the details in an illegible manner. So this is one example. Don't use correction fluids or erasers. Do not scribble or write, or we have a tendency to correct any mistake by overwriting like this. Example has been seen, you can see. Do not scratch, erase with pins to correct, modify the entries. So blank spaces always have to be strike down and sign and date. Don't mark as dittos, or this is habit to many operators that they are marking as dittos or lines. Fill the blank spaces with repeated entries also. Data for any laboratory documentation shall be recorded directly on only approved and authorized formats. No recording on unauthorized document, that is post it sticky sheets or scrap papers or notepads. It shall be on proper format. Every data has to be in proper format and approved format. Impermanent records like data printed on thermal paper, etc. shall be copied into a permanent medium, and the copies shall be attached to or stored along with the original signed record. So always keep original records, no matter what conditions they are in, even if damaged or they contain multiple errors or corrections, keep it as permanent record and don't throw it out. Don't tear the supporting data. Never discard an original record or replace it with any new records. जैसे balance printouts है या कोई equipment के printouts है, so don't replace it, don't throw it, keep it as such. Don't do back date entry or advanced date entries free post. मैंने अभी एक audit किया एक factory का, वहां पर आगे के 3 batches के BMR भी उन्होंने लिख के रखे हुए. So when I asked, they said नहीं ऑडिट के टाइम हम लोगों का हमेशा ऐसा ही होता है, BMR बैकडेट हम लोगों को बैकडेटेड भरना पड़ता है एंड वो ऑनलाइन मैनेज नहीं होता है, इसलिए हम लोगों ने उसके लिए एक टीम रखा हुआ है, they are writing the BMR. So that is wrong practice. So it shall not be backdated and it shall not be in advance pre or post dated. It shall be online, and if online documentation you are doing, then only you can follow 100% compliance of GMP. Write clearly, always do online entries, ensure that the logbooks is having numbered pages, verify calculations by second persons, take care while taking data from any display like weights from balances, timers, etc. Good practices, writing record logs, it's some example which needs to be taken care of. 0 and 6, C and G, Q and O, 1 and 7, U and V, L and I or I, 3 and 8, V and 8. So these things needs to be keep in mind while you are writing. Generally S and 5, then Z if we are writing, that time also this looks like 2. In dispensing, rounding off with respect to the least count of the weighing balances. And in quality control, decimal justification with respect to pharmacopoeia limits. This is important. Now see, while you are making specifications, you can see in pharmacopoeia 95 to 105, what it means. 95 to 105. So it means you have to report your results as 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 2, 3, 4, 5. You cannot report this as a 99.8. You cannot report this as a 95.5. So it has to be in full integer. If pharmacopoeia limit is saying that 95.0 to 101.0, then you can report this as 95.1, 95.2. You cannot write 95.25. If it is written as 95.00, then only you can write it in 00. So always keep in mind while making specification and reporting limits of whatever pharmacopoeia is specifying, accordingly you have to report the limits. Overwriting, then obliterating, crossing out entries with multiple strokes or otherwise obscuring. So avoid this kind of mistakes. Do's and don'ts about time. Always verify the time from company clock provided in the area where the activity is being performed. Always make entries at the time activities actually occur. Always synchronize time in all equipments, computers, etc. Always follow the time format of the machine if time is printed from a machine or computer. And this is reason in every department you have to provide a clock, because it shall not be various timings reported by various persons. Somebody is looking in his own watch, somebody is looking in mobile, somebody is looking in computer, and another person, operator, is looking towards company clock. So there shall be only one device for time recording, and that shall be updated. So that from that device only you have to record the time. Never verify time from personal watches. Otherwise, overwrite time entries. Never synchronize time from other sources. Never ignore the time format if printed from machine or computers. Meaning of signatures: your signature or initials next to handwritten entries always mean you performed that activity and made the entry. You are responsible for the accuracy, reliability, and truthness of the data. If you encounter situations where this is not the case, you should clearly and completely document who did what and when and inform your superior. So signatures are legally binding. You should have a record of traceability of signatures and initials. Specimen signature list must be preserved at site. Many at the time of many audits, we can observe कि हम लोग SOP साइन करते हैं एज ए मैनेजर, एंड जब ऑडिटर उसमें कुछ क्वेरी निकालते जूनियर्स की तरफ देखते कि भाई तूने ऐसा क्यों किया, लेकिन हम लोगों ने सिग्नेचर किया तो वी आर नॉट हैविंग राइट्स टू पॉइंट टू एनीवन. इट इज आवर रिस्पांसिबिलिटी एंड वी हैव टू टेक दैट रिस्पांसिबिलिटी फॉर एक्यूरेसी, रिलायबिलिटी एंड ट्रूथनेस ऑफ द डाटा और ट्रूथनेस ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट. So similarly for electronics, password, username and password is most important. This is like electronic signature only. Don't sign for the activity which is not performed by you. FDA observes employee fraudulently signing, weighing records or activity he did not perform, and this can be tracked from your attendance record. Always sign only for the activity performed by you. Do not sign differently. Don't sign on one document in one way and on another document in different way. Signature should match with your specimen signature. Rectification of mistakes. You can make mistakes. Everyone does. It's what you do about the mistakes that matters. Trying to cover up or hide the mistakes can lead to integrity issue and serious consequences to you and the company. The act of cover up may at a minimum damage the credibility of the company and may be investigated by FDA as a possible criminal offense. Rectification of mistakes. Cross out the erroneous entry with a single horizontal line. Corrections of documentation errors should include draw a single line through the error, make the corrections next to the error, write an explanation for the error, and sign and date the correction. हम लोग corrections तो करते हैं लेकिन उसके नीचे explanation नहीं लिखते. So that has to be habit कि why this correction has been happened. So here, what happened? Calculation error, sign and date. Quality desired for documentation, concise, legible, accurate, traceable, and retrievable. Why good documentation practices? Cost for good documentation practice indicates good documentation brings business. Cost for poor or no documentation, you have to pay to the authorities, you have to pay to in terms of fines, in terms of bribes, in terms of any other things, and losing the business also if documentation is not good. Documents are objective evidences that actions or tasks have been performed, and GDP is an expected practice by a regulatory agency. Title 18 of the United States Codes for non-compliance of data integrity related issues, penalties provides for fines and imprisonment up to 5 years. Examples fraud, यहाँ पर इंडिया में नहीं है इसलिए एग्जांपल दिया हुआ है. Example frauds, false entries or false statements, conspiracy and objections of justice. Generic Drug Enforcement Act is describing about documentation things and the fines which are listed for by US FDA. What I am responsible for? You are responsible for your signature, written signature, initials or full signature and electronic signatures also. आप किसी आपके colleague को password दे देते हो, it means you are whatever he is doing, it will be recorded as electronic signature and it will be your responsibility. If he did something wrong, it means you will be in trouble. Always write in blue, indelible ink. Signatures for all GXP activities shall always become accompanied by the relevant date wherever separate date columns have not been provided. Date का column है या नहीं है आप भूल जाओ. You have to write date below your sign. So GXP record shall be signed with the same signature as done in specimen signature card. Date and time format as defined in good documentation practices SOPs. Always use simple language, always do what you write and write what you do. Document should have a unique number and identification. Ensure retrieval of old version of document from point of use. Ensure current version of approved procedures is used. Do not make an unauthorized copy or controlled copy of any document in case of any deviation observed, done and observed or done, inform to your superior. These are general symbols, general principle. Electronic signatures means your verification. So it shall never be transmitted or disclosed to anyone else. You should never use someone else's electronic signature. Do you share your toothbrush to anyone? No. So like this is password and you shall not share this to anyone. And if somebody is using this and doing something wrong, it will be your responsibility. The way we do our jobs can affect the health of the million of people who use our products. And this we have to keep in our mind while following CGMP practices and while doing good documentation practices. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Question.
Question,
Okay.